welcome to Multiplex Movie Warzone. I am your host, Kaleb Boatman, and at the desk is not Brian Michaels because he's competing. It is one of our question writers, Mr. Tony Smashmouth Heald. How are you feeling about this match, Tony? We do have Brian Michaels going up against Nicholas Twohig. I think this is going to be a really interesting match. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, I think this is going to be an interesting match. Brian is one of the heavy favorites coming into this, but I think this tournament so far hasn't really done any major upsets. I've got a feeling that today might be that day. You know when you have that feeling, is there something in the air? There's something in the water.
Yeah, that's fair. I will say, as far as I think this tournament goes, I do think there has been one major upset, but it was from the video that was filmed that was released yesterday. So, people who are watching, if you haven't watched yesterday's match, which is Jake Marangoni versus Ethan Beller, watch that right now. Because, yeah. But anyway, let's see how these competitors are feeling in their promos.
All right, well, here I am, back in singles competition for the first time since my epic match against Sicario Sean Sandberg, which if you haven't seen that, go back and see it, although I wish it ended differently. Today I'm going up against a new player in Nick Twohig. To be honest, I'd almost rather be going up against a tough veteran because this guy is a complete unknown to me. I don't know what to expect from him. I don't know his strengths, don't know his weaknesses, and that's dangerous. I mean, we've already seen at least one match in this tournament, which we just mentioned, where there's a major upset, where a debuting player took out one of the top-ranked opponents. So, we don't know what could happen.
Brian Michaels. Kind of person has two first names. You must go to Starbucks and get real confused when they call out Michael. I bet you have a middle name too. That's three first names in one name. Brian, it's going to be a good match, but let me tell you a couple things first about the number 27. 27 is often referred to as the Trinity of Trinities because 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. The planet is made up as 27% of land. So basically what I'm saying is 27 is lucky and I'm going to win just because I'm ranked number 27. But at the end of the day, I plan on getting at least 27% of these questions right and hopefully making you laugh along the way. And I will wish you luck into the future, assuming you come out on top. But good luck, buddy.
Well, those were some really good promos. Brian kind of doing, the Brian thing where he's just kind of pointing out the history of what's going on, Nick pointing out that he's the 27th seed and that 27 is like a magic number, that Brian has two first names, that he gets confused at Starbucks, which makes sense because Brian's very old, so he probably gets standing there at Starbucks and people are like, "Sir, do you need help?" And he's like, "No, I need to go back to the war." But, Tony, how did you feel about those promos?
Yeah, they're interesting promos, very two different ballparks they were both playing in. As someone that goes for the entertaining side and has a bearded American as a partner, I hate you, Nick.
Fair
enough. But without that, let's get both these gentlemen in the ring ready to play. So, introducing first, making his movie Warzone debut, he is Nick, the Name Twohig!
Ooh, I like the sound of that. Let's do it.
And introducing second, with a record of 1 win, 1 defeat, representing Wild Stallions, he is Brian, the MacGuffin, Michaels!
You call me old and you're wearing the old man hat. Come on.
I mean, fair. That is fair. But it's either the old man hat or the annoying 20-something hipster hat. So
yeah, I was going to say, it's more hipster, like Bruno Mars-ish.
Yeah.
It makes me want to punch him no matter what.
I mean, that's fair, but I kind of get that anyway without the hat, so it doesn't really matter. But without further ado, let's get started with our round one. Round one's going to work like this. You're going to get 8 different questions, 8 different categories. You're going to write your answers down on a whiteboard or piece of paper if you prefer. If you get it right, you get a point. If you get all 8 right, then you get an extra question for a chance at 9 whole points. So, if all the competitors and my co-host are ready, you will be getting your first question, which will come in the category of coming of age movies. Coming of age movies. And your question: Sing Street takes place in what decade? Tony, did you see this film?
I've not seen it yet. I've still need to see it. Once is one of my all-time favorite films, so not seeing Sing Street is a massive black mark against me.
Oh, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Let's start with Nick.
I said the 1980s because I didn't know.
And Brian.
I said the 1980s because I do know.
It is the 1980s.
It was acceptable in the 80s.
Okay, Tony, our next question.
Okay, so we are moving on to thrillers. Who directed Gene Hackman in The Conversation?
I think we're having a pretty good conversation right now, Tony. I mean, it's kind of stilted and it stops randomly in the middle, but that's probably the best conversation I've ever had with another human. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Brian.
I believe it's Francis Ford Coppola.
And Nick.
Ridley Scott.
Francis Ford Coppola is the correct answer.
First blood is drawn.
Yes, your next category is going to come from dramas, the category that you save for your mama. Kate Hudson goes by what name in Almost Famous?
If you could be almost famous for anything, what would it be?
It would be saying a bye-bye, a bye-bye, a bye-bye. That'd be the thing. I'm
Really?
basically infamous for it already. 5, 4.
Infamous is a strong word.
2, 1. Yeah, just more in without the famous. Nick.
I'm embarrassed. Patricia.
No, Brian.
We're calling you Bye Bye now instead of Little Boat.
Yeah.
Penny Lane.
That is correct.
Oh, stupid.
Patricia, quite close.
Pete.
Can be derivative, I would say. Okay, so we are moving on to recent releases. In The Upside, what actress plays Yvonne, the personal assistant to Bryan Cranston's character?
Bryan Cranston, that's somebody who's had a bit of a resurgence, but I still think his best work is as the dad in Malcolm in the Middle. 5, 4,
Yeah, you can't get any better than Hal.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. Nick.
Nicole Kidman.
That is correct. Brian.
I did not know this one. No perfect round. RuPaul.
Yes, Nicole Kidman is the correct answer.
No, I'm sorry, we're stopping this match. We're going to recreate The Upside with RuPaul in that role. I just want to see RuPaul and Kevin Hart in the same movie.
That'd be interesting. Okay, your next category comes in classics. Classics is the category. James Stewart, Cary Grant, and Katharine Hepburn star in what 1940 film?
So I wonder which one of the two writers wrote this question about classics.
Yeah, I bet it was you. You're known as the big kind of classic movie guy.
Do I have to use a repeat to ask if you said 1940s or 1940?
You don't have to use a repeat. I said 4D. 4D,
Okay.
just the year 1940. 5.
Year of Our Lord, 1940.
4. No, that's Brian. 3, 2, 1. Pens down. Nick.
The Apartment. Not right.
Incorrect. Not starring Jimmy Stewart. Brian.
Yeah.
I think it's the Philadelphia Story.
That is correct.
Oh, okay. Never heard of that one. Check it out.
Good movie. Just watched it for first time this year.
Hey,
Okay. So, yep, we are moving on to movie release dates.
movie release dates.
Why?
Because I can.
No. Okay. What year saw the release of Michael Keaton's comedy, Mr. Mum?
You doing this to me?
Oh, sorry, Mr. Mom, I should say.
Mr. Mom.
Mr. Mom.
That's the American version. Mr. Mom is the remake starring Dudley Moore. Mr. Mom.
I want that so much in my life now.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down. Let's go to Brian.
I feel like I'm going to Brooklyn Vail it. Is it 83?
Nick.
1986.
Brian did not Brooklyn Vail it. It is 83.
I was gonna say that too.
Okay.
No sandwiches needed today.
Yes, nobody gets a sandwich. Your next question comes in the category of scores and soundtracks. What animated musical features the songs After Today and Eye to Eye?
You know what After Today is?
Tomorrow.
Damn it. Can't get anything over the little boat.
Nope, you
Apart from a
can't.
tidal wave.
Yeah, no, that's happened. 5, 4. It was a traumatic experience. 3, 2,
It sounds like it.
1. Pens down. Nick.
Said the Princess and the Frog.
No, Brian.
I have our score. That's all I have for.
The correct answer is actually a Goofy movie.
Yeah.
After today, our brains will be cruising.
Oh God.
Out of which song to sing you went for After Today, not Eye to Eye?
I like Eye to Eye, but I don't have anywhere close to the
Oh,
range for
God.
that one.
How am I?
You don't have the vocal range for any song.
I mean, fair, but at least I have a little bit more for After Today.
Okay, so we are moving on to our final question of this round, and we are moving to family films. How many? Let me try and get my words out this time. How many theatrically released films are there in the Ernest franchise?
Lord.
If this question was asked in the UK, it would be 0.
I mean, kind of correct.
For whatever reason, that character never came over here because we had the Carry On films, so that was a big thing over here. In
I have
that
no
time.
idea what the Carry On films are. I'll have to
I'm
look
making
up
you
on
watch
that
them.
later. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands down, Nick.
He said 2.
Incorrect, Brian.
I believe there's Jail, Camp, and Christmas for 3.
No, I'm sorry.
No?
There's actually more than that. The correct answer is 5.
That
5.
came out in theaters? Wow.
Yes, 5
Wow.
released in theaters.
How many
Scared
bonus questions do I get?
What?
How many bonus questions do I get?
None.
Okay.
Sorry.
Again later.
All
You can
right.
keep trying for that. We might give you an extra one by mistake.
Appreciate it.
Okay. So, with that, our scores at the end of round 1 are Brian, the MacGuffin, with 5 points, and Nick with 2 points. 5-2 is the current score. So, we are going to go to our lovely wheel round where you're going to get
Ooh.
5 different categories on the lovely wheel from 10 different categories from the lovely wheel from wheeldecide.com.
Actually, we couldn't afford a full wheel. It's only a semicircle
Yeah,
now.
we can't afford a full wheel, but 10 different categories on the wheel. You're going to get to spin the wheel once. If you like what you get, you can keep it, or you can spin again once, but then you have to stick with whatever you spin. You're going to get 5 questions in whatever category you get. If you get the question right, you get 2 points. If you go to multiple choice, you get 1, or if you get it wrong, the other person gets a chance to steal. So the categories that we have on our lovely wheel tonight are coming of age, sci-fi fantasy, Harry Potter, Spinner's Choice, 80s Spielberg, 70s movies, places in the name, Will Ferrell, opponent's choice, and actor filmography. So, Brian, you are in the lead. Would you like to spin first or defer?
Well, I'd first like to say I'm proud of you for spelling opponents right this time. And I will go second.
Okay, Nick.
All
So
right.
this will be your spin.
I'd like to point out I'm currently shooting 25%, so I'm trying to add
2% more.
2 more.
And then you land in the category of coming of age movies. Do you want to keep that or spin again?
I would like to spin again. I already came of age. Thank you.
Okay. So
Oh, by that bit, I thought you were like
what
15.
is sci-fi fantasy? Sci-fi
Alright.
fantasy. Tony, would you like to give Nick his question in the category of sci-fi?
I shall in sci-fi fantasy. Okay, so our first question. In Children of Men, what is the animal-based name of the resistance movement led by Chitwell Ejiofor?
Multiple choice, please.
Yep. Is it A, the lions, B, the sparrows, C, the prairie dogs, or D, the fishes?
The sparrows.
The sparrows is incorrect. Brian for the steal.
The prairie dogs.
The prairie dog is also incorrect. The correct answer is the fishes.
That's a dumb name.
You take hope with him. All right. Our second question in sci-fi fantasy: who directed Stargate?
I don't care. Multiple choice.
Okay. Is it A, Andrew Niccol, B, Paul W.S. Anderson, C, Mac G, or D, Roland Emmerich?
I should clarify, C was Mick G.
Yeah,
Mick
this
G.
might be my worst guess ever, but McG.
McG is incorrect. Brian for the steal.
That was the first one from Devlin and Roland Emmerich.
Roland Emmerich is correct for 1 point steal.
Learned so much today.
We do really have to translate these from British into American for me. Okay, so moving on to our third category. In The Princess Bride, what, according to Vizzini, is the most famous of the classic blunders?
Starting a land war in Asia.
Starting land war in Asia is correct. So that is 2 points.
That's 2 points.
And then our penultimate question. In Her, who plays Theodore's wife, whom he is separated from?
Multiple choice.
Is it A, Rooney Mara, B, Lena Headey, C, Amy Adams, or D, Olivia Wilde?
Does it really count as sci-fi fantasy?
There's science fiction elements in it. If you class Black Mirror as it, I guess.
I don't think, Tony.
Yeah, no, I'll accept it. Rooney Mara.
Rooney Mara is correct for 1 point.
Good stuff.
Okay, and our final question. What sci-fi fantasy film has the characters go to the Lotus Casino?
Five.
Yeah, multiple choice.
Okay, is it A, Dogma, B, Stardust, C, Percy Jackson and the Olympians, The Lightning Thief, or D, Star Trek IV, The Voyage Home?
I'm not gonna guess C, but if it's C, I'm gonna be pissed. Let's go. Let's go with Stardust.
Stardust is incorrect. Brian for the steal.
Can I hear a repeat of the question?
Yep. What sci-fi fantasy film has the characters go to the Lotus Casino?
I'm going to guess Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson is correct for 1 point steal.
So mad. That's so stupid.
It's always the case whenever you go, I'm not going to go for that one. It's always that one.
It is always that one. Unless you end up going for that one, in which case it's never that one.
Oh, gosh.
So,
Okay.
3 points, still a very good score. You still
Yes,
running.
at 5, but Brian did
3 out of 10, 30%. I think we're averaging around 27 right now.
And Brian is at 7. Nick is at 5. Brian, this will be your spin. Your strength of actor filmography, would you like to keep it?
I will take that.
Okay. I will be giving you your questions in the realm of actor filmography. What actor has starred in the films Paranoia, The Last Song, and The Dressmaker?
That is Liam Hemsworth.
That is correct for 2 points. What classic actress starred in the films Touch of Evil, Bye Bye Birdie, and 1962's The Manchurian Candidate?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice options are A, Catherine Ross, B, Shirley Jones, C, Natalie Wood, or D, Janet Leigh.
I guess A.
Incorrect. Nick for the 1 point steal.
Natalie Wood.
Also incorrect. We were looking for Janet Leigh. Janet Leigh, mother of Jamie Lee Curtis. Next question. What actress has starred in Allied, Contagion, and Midnight in Paris?
That is Marianne Cotillard.
That is correct for 2 points. Next question. What actor starred in the films Cadillac Man, The Final Cut, and Moscow on the Hudson?
Robin Williams.
Correct for 2 more points. And your final question, realm of actor filmography. Who starred in the films Insurgent, The Fault in Our Stars, and 2013's Carrie?
Shailene Woodley.
Incorrect, Nick, for the 2-point steal.
Oh, I see what you did there. Damn it.
Well, now I'm confused.
Answered too fast.
Let's repeat it.
All right.
I stopped listening after
Who
the
starred in the films Insurgent, The Fault in Our Stars, and 2013's Carrie?
Yeah.
2013's what? Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Carrie.
Carrie.
Carrie, okay.
Five.
Ansel.
That is correct for 2
That's
points.
correct.
Nice.
Yeah, I answered too fast. I should have listened quite closely.
I mean, I stopped listening halfway through the question.
I shouldn't know. Caleb likes to do that to me.
Okay, well, with the end of that round, we do have Brian at 13 points, Nicholas at 8 points. Nick is at 8, Brian is at 13, but anything can happen as we go into the Pick Your Poison round. We're going to let our competitors pick what they want for their 1, 2, 3, and their 4-pointer. We're going to give them the option to pick from these 6 categories: scores and soundtracks, movie release dates, westerns, actors and actresses, animated, and 2010s. We will let them pick their categories right now, and we'll get back to you right now. Okay, so our competitors have picked what they want for their 1, 2, 3, and their 4-pointer. Brian has picked his 1 in scores and soundtracks, his 2 in 2010s, his 3 in actors and actresses, and his 4 in movie release dates. Nick has picked his 1 in movie release dates, his 2 in actors and actresses, his 3 in animated, and his 4 in 2010s. So, Nick, I will be giving you your 1-pointer in the realm of movie release dates. Your question.
Okay.
How many James Bond films were released in the 90s?
Go with a good solid number. We're going to say 4.
That is incorrect. You got Brooklyn. It's 3. 3 Bond movies. Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, and GoldenEye.
The good Brosnans.
Yes,
Dang.
all the Brosnan ones. Okay,
Oh,
so Brian. Or no,
Still
Nick.
Nick.
Yeah.
Still Nick. I realize that. Brian, you're not playing. Don't tell me what to do.
Good time.
Okay, your 2-pointer in the realm of actors and actresses, Nick. What comedic actor plays Buggin' Out's friend C in Do the Right Thing?
Heard this said before, but I'm not going to get there. So let's go with good John Belushi.
That is incorrect. We were looking for Martin Lawrence.
Okay.
Martin.
Like a terrible guess is what you said.
To be fair, I always get them confused in my head. They're very familiar.
Yeah, totally.
All right, let me make sure. Okay, you're still in the ballpark, Nick, but you do have to hit this one in order to stay in the game.
And I will. Maybe.
Okay. 3-pointer, category of animated. In what 2008 animated film will you find a kangaroo voiced by Carol Burnett?
Okay. The Rescuers Down Under.
And your winner, by way of technical knockout, Brian the MacGuffin Michaels. The correct answer
Australia.
was Horton hears a who. Horton hears a who.
All right.
So, with that, Brian does win by TKO. Nick's still a good showing from Nick, though, but Brian does win the match. So, Tony, let's see how these competitors are feeling in their post-match interviews.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll go to our loser first. So, Nick, this is your first time out in singles competition. How did you feel?
I feel good. I think I hit around the 27% mark. What I was aiming for.
We'll get citations on that.
I came in knowing I'd do my best, but in the end, Brian's pretty good at this. So my plan was to wish him well going forward and to do me proud and win the whole thing. And that way I can say, you don't know I wouldn't come in second.
Yep. That's a very good wise option.
So, Brian, you got to win the whole thing now is basically what we're saying.
I'll do my best.
All right.
And in future, you're going to stick with singles? Are you thinking about moving into fandom teams? Like, what's your mindset?
I would be, if I could get a fandom match, I think I'd be really good at fandom. And I have a friend who have been trying to get into this space as my teammate, and he's interested. So whenever there's a team match available, I'm down. And if there's a fandom match available, I think I could actually be pretty dangerous in that league.
Nice.
Hit me up.
Nice. Well, hopefully we'll see you again. And we're moving on to our victor, Brian. So Sean Chamber called you out in his match, saying that he wants a repeat of that in the semi-finals. Do you think after this performance, it looks like that could be a potential? Are you nervous about Sandberg and the future competitors?
You know, I have a lot of matches to win before I get to Sandberg. There's some tough competitors still in this tournament, but absolutely I want to get back to Sandberg. Not just because I want to, redeem myself and make up for that loss, but also just because that was a hell of a match and I'd love to do it again. But this match was fun. The spirit of Dan Merle did me well again this time. I like Nicholas. He's a good guy. I hate handing somebody a loss in their first match here, but the tournaments, that's what happens with the seeding and everything like that. But I like the guy. I think he does know his stuff. He got some tough. A couple of his third round categories I didn't know the answers to. So it's just I wish him well in the future. I think he'll do good.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, so you're looking at moving on. So how, as one of the main people behind this, how do you rate your chances? Do you think personally you have a way to go all the way, or other people in your way are just it'll have to be my very best day for me to beat them?
Absolutely. Because I mean, even just getting past the next round or two, I have some high seeds, some strong competitors I have to get past. I don't actually know who my very next competitor is. I don't think. Yeah, Caleb. Do we?
Well, it will be the winner of Eli McKaig and no, it isn't. I'm wrong. That's on the other side. You will be playing the winner. Actually, we know who won. It's Sean Wasserkrug. He beat Dave.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
You are playing him next. I know you two have a little bit of history each other in a different league.
In a different league, in teams, we had a hard time, but I think I could take him, especially solo and especially in this league. I feel pretty confident against Sean, but like we said, anything can happen. But beyond that, you got Eli, you got Chris, you got Michael Campbell still in this. You got who else still in this? You're still in this, Caleb. We got Sean Sandberg is still in it. Dominic Rizzi. We don't know who's going to come out. The only person I'm not worried about is Corey Quinto, but that's just Corey.
I don't think anyone is. But that being said, unless that wheel just does him a big favor again. I'm kidding, Corey, or am I? Okay. With that, we are going to see where we can find our competitors around the league, around the world. So with the plugs. Nick, anything you want to plug?
Sure. I'm currently in the Marvel Battleground debate matches. If you want to go check those out, those have been a lot of fun. I've been doing a lot over at Movie Battleground. I'm good at talking about movies. I'm just apparently not good at knowing a lot about them. But you can follow me on Instagram at College Movie Man. I probably won't know that you followed me because I haven't looked at it in a while. But yeah, go ahead.
And Brian.
Well, everybody knows to find me all over the place here at Multiplex. I'm writing, I'm editing, I'm sometimes co-hosting and competing. At least in this tournament, I'm still on my way. You'll find me in Full Metal, where I don't get to play in singles there much, but I do occasionally show up in Classic. And I got a random match coming up for Bill and Ted. And of course, Wild Stallions is still in the running in the tournament there, making a run for the championship there. Otherwise, find me on Facebook under my name or Letterboxd under Cinemaphile.
All right, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. You can catch me on Twitter at Healed Here, and you can catch out my podcast Rushmore on Guideline Entertainment on YouTube.
Yes, and you can find me, Caleb Boatman, hosting Multiplex movie Warzone, and also on Letterboxd at Caleb Boatman. With that being said, that's our winner, Brian Michaels. That's Nick Twohig. That's Tony Heald. And I am Caleb Boatman. This is Movie Warzone. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.